Coming up next on 31 Live at 5, it's going to cost you to make a move into Madison County in the future. We'll have a report. And the courts now see a Huntsville teenager in a different light. In sports, Gus Herger tells us about the troubles of two former Bama players. And will our weather cause us any trouble this week? We'll have all this and much more coming up next on 31 Live at 5.
I hate pain, cramps, backache, headache, but these have only one pain reliever. So I take new Maximum Pain Relief Pamprin. See? 2 pain relievers. One for my cramps, one for my other pains. If you hate pain, take Maximum Pain Relief Pamprin. It hates pain as much as you do.
Arthritis, tendonitis, back pain. Cool it, heat it with Icy Hot. Icy to dull the pain, hot to relax it away. Fast-acting Icy Hot, icy and hot therapy for pain.
97.3, kicking out the hits 24 hours a day. We're here to entertain you. All hits, 97 Kicks.
That's what I said now.
WKXJ is 97 Kicks, the all hits kicker.
Angel was a teenager who loved too deeply and trusted too much.
She was a lover. She loved him, and he was a user.
And what started out as an innocent secret romance ended in cold-blooded murder.
In fact, what I've done, I've done a terrible thing. Now, they're going to send you to prison, but I'd like to send you to hell.
A tragic end to the secret romance on the next hard copy.
Monday at 6:30 on Channel 31. 31 Eyewitness News is closed captioned for the hearing impaired. From Channel 31, the station more people watch for news. Liz Hurley, Cliff Hill, Gary Dobbs weather, and Gus Hergert sports. Live from your 24-hour news source, this is 31 Eyewitness News Live at 5.
It's official. The Madison County Commission establishes a home inspection department. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Liz Hurley. Cliff Hill has the evening off. The new department is intended to reduce shoddy construction work in county homes, but as Paige Rucker reports, opponents say the commission may not have the authority to make that decision.
Say between 80 and 90% of the people does not want an inspection. You people up here are elected officials by the people. You're being paid by the people.
Crowds filled the Madison County Commission ready to tackle the issue head-on. Opponents say they don't want a county inspection department. In fact, they say people buying homes in the county can expect to pay $8,000 to $10,000 more for an inspected home. Commissioners say inspections of a house under construction would cost an average of $180 per house. They voted in favor of establishing a new inspection department on a 5-2 vote. Tillman Hill says he initiated the idea after receiving several complaints from a woman whose house flooded 3 times.
And the only thing it would have cost to keep her from being flooded out had that contractor taken the time and a few $100s and built that house up another 6 inches to 12 inches.
Johnny Ball represents almost 5,000 people against the county's decision, a decision he says the county may not have the authority to make. He says the Legislative Sunset Committee already has ordered the Home Builders Licensure Board to cease operations due to their failure to meet requirements. Such an action could kill the law that grants the commission the authority to establish an inspection department. He says it's a matter of time before the issue will wind up in the courts. In Huntsville, Paige Rucker, 31 Eyewitness News, live at 5.
County Attorney Julian Butler says the Sunset Committee's actions does not invalidate or repeal the city's authority to establish an inspection department. A Huntsville teenager facing vehicular homicide charges wins one of his battles. 18-year-old Sergio Wiskovich gets youthful offender status. He's charged with the May death of Mac Williams. Police say Wiskovich had been drinking before he lost control of the car he was driving. Williams was a passenger in that vehicle. This morning's ruling means all further proceedings in the case will be kept secret. It also limits Wiskovich's punishment to a maximum of 3 years in prison. The parents of twin girls found shackled and starving in their Birmingham home face charges of abuse tonight. Albert Vaca and his wife Lorianne Vaca are accused of mistreating their two 5-year-olds. Jennifer and Rachel Vaca were found Saturday shackled in handcuffs in what neighbors described as a filthy bedroom. Child abuse investigator Joanne Meza says mistreated or abused kids could live right next door to you.
People who really and truly abuse and mistreat children do not usually talk about it out in the community. The children are never seen because they're, inside being mistreated.
Meza says contact your local Department of Human Resources if you believe a child is being neglected. She says if a person reports in good faith, they are protected from retaliation. The number for the Huntsville office is 535-4671 or 535-4673. In Florida, 14-year-old Kimberly Mays says she positively never wants to see her biological parents again. Kimberly was switched at birth with another child at the same hospital. That child has since died. A civil trial began today because Kimberly's biological parents want visitation rights. A Michigan toddler is with her biological parents today following a lengthy court battle. 2.5-year-old baby Jessica has been the center of a long-time tug-of-war between two sets of parents. Dan and Kara Schmidt of Iowa put the baby up for adoption and then later changed their minds. They're regaining custody now of baby Jessica and plan to change her name. The child's adoptive parents fought the Schmidts but lost on Friday when the U.S. Supreme Court refused to intervene. President Clinton is downplaying the idea of the United States-led airstrikes in war-torn Bosnia. UN Secretary Boutros Boutros-Ghali is putting the United States and its NATO allies on notice that he'll be the one to make the decision on possible airstrikes. Meanwhile, peace talks among warring factions continue. And in St. Louis, it's still being battered around by the mighty Mississippi. 9,000 people have been evacuated so far from their homes after 51 propane tanks broke free. The river crested at almost 50 feet yesterday, one day earlier than expected. And that's some of the events making headlines at this hour. Tim Hall joins us now from the outside with a look at weather. Boy, looking at those 50 propane tanks flying down the Mississippi.
Hey, that's actually not too far from where I spent about 11 years. We left Huntsville and moved there. And I'm glad I moved back to Huntsville now, Liz. I wouldn't want to be there really for all the money in the world right now. It's been one of these days here in the Tennessee Valley where you've expected it to rain just about any time, but the rain showers have been very, very scattered around the area. Let's go ahead and look at our temperatures right now. And it's also been quite humid today. 86 degrees right now in Huntsville, 87 in the Shoals. Our official high at Huntsville International has been 90, 69 the overnight low. That was very pleasant, but a muggy 69 degrees, winds from the west at 8 miles an hour. Checking those humidities, you can see they've been 50% to 60 percentile range, 59% right now in Huntsville and in the Shoals, with just a trace of rainfall at Huntsville International. But some of you have had some pretty good thunder shower activity, and even a thunderstorm or two has rolled across the Tennessee Valley, producing up to ½ an inch of rainfall, and the entire area needs that. Maybe we'll get some more rain before this week is out. Here's the satellite map for the southeastern section of the nation. You see the clouds bearing down on the valley, and they've been helping to trigger some thunderstorms, especially over northern Mississippi. But unfortunately, by the time the clouds rolled into Alabama, we didn't get much but some light scattered shower activity. The big picture looks this way. Cold front just about on top of us here in the valley. High pressure to the north of us, but another cold front beginning to bear down. And we're really kind of holding out our hopes that that'll help bring some more scattered rain shower activity to the rest of the Tennessee Valley, probably for the next 2 to 3 days. Here's tonight's forecast. Shapes up this way. A few clouds and a few showers are still possible. It'll be a little muggy tonight with high humidities and the temperature only making it down to 71 for an overnight low. Our winds from the southeast at 4 miles an hour. And coming up a little bit later, we'll check our local radar. And we're also going to look at the 5-day, which Liz actually shows some cooler temperatures. That'll be definitely a much nicer change for us.
Oh, we love it. Thank you, Tim. Well, it doesn't appear the presses are going to be stopping at a Huntsville-based newspaper. We'll have that story coming up on your 24-hour news source. And how involved should you be in decisions regarding your health? Dr. Dina Dell explores that concept a little later. Hope you'll stay with us.
Everyone misses someone. Everyone needs to
to hear the news.
When you need to hear the news, you can count on South Central Bell. We handle most of the calls you make, including long distance in your calling zone. Calls that bring you closer to the ones you love. It's just one more way we make your life a touch easier.
Hello, everyone. South Central Bell, yeah.
Remember the insect management program? Well, it's mid-season. Time for Asana XL. Use it for the longest residual action. Use it for maximum insect control. Use it now to avoid resistance. Hey, it's part of the program. So remember, mid-season Asana XL. Grow cotton, not insects. Stick with the program. Only from DuPont.
And now a quintile analysis of urban soybean consumption. Now these numbers are self-explanatory, so let me explain them. Everyone still with me? Good.
When you want to sneak out for a quick bite, try the Pizza Hut Lunch Buffet with 6 delicious different pizzas every day. Crispy salad, breadsticks, pasta.
Here's a little number you'll enjoy.
And you'll be back before you know it.
Now in 1940...
Sometimes you just gotta stop and smell the pizza.
Closed captioning of this 31 Eyewitness News program is provided by Huntsville Dodge, your hometown Dodge dealer, where the pride is inside and quality is free.
A Huntsville entertainment newspaper will continue publishing, at least for now. One owner of The Scoop had wanted a judge to suspend publication and freeze the paper's bank accounts. Randy Foreman claims his partner Bill Britt won't give him access to the paper's financial records. A judge has ordered the owners to follow state partnership laws until a hearing next month, and that's when the judge may decide on dissolving this partnership. After several days, Alabama lawmakers could be in a special session next week. Governor Jim Folsom is calling for legislators to deal with ethics in campaign financing. August the 10th is the likely date for the meeting, but Folsom has yet to call for the session. The governor will issue a proclamation setting the agenda. No word yet on when that order is going to come down. A surge in government building projects gives construction spending its biggest increase of the year. The Commerce Department says public construction jumped 3.6% in June. That's the largest advance since May 1992. Leading the gain was a 9% increase on highways and street spending. The Clinton administration is depending on construction and big-ticket purchases by businesses and consumers in the upcoming months. It hopes that will offset weaknesses from its deficit-cutting package of tax increases and government spending cuts. In business matters, federal officials are investigating charges that NASA was overbilled for computer equipment. The Wall Street Journal says Grumman Corporation is the target of this investigation. The computer maker allegedly overcharged the space agency up to $8 million. Reportedly, prosecutors are recommending felony charges in connection with that case. Well, he is a #1 draft pick, but where's his signature? Later in sports, Gus Hergert tells us exactly what's the holdup with John Copeland. Timothy?
And some of you may be wondering, what's the holdup on rain in the Tennessee Valley? Well, take a look at the radar and find out where it is and when it might get here when 31 Live at 5 continues. Stay with us.
Hey, we know you're busy and can't worry about the best time to buy a car, but here's a clue. The Jeep and Eagle clearance, unlike any other because it's on great vehicles like Jeep Grand Cherokee or this award winner, Eagle Vision. And we're not shouting, but you get $500 back on 4-cylinder Jeep Wranglers and save up to $8 on Jeep Cherokee Sport. So take a time out. You could save a lot of money here. The Jeep and Eagle clearance, worth looking into. Hey, we'll see you there.
See your Southeast Jeep Eagle dealer now.
Light. It is the first element of creation. Nothing brings it more elegantly or shapes it more beautifully than Andersen windows and patio doors. comfort of Andersen windows. Come home to Andersen.
Isn't it good to know Conoco?
Where right now you have a chance to win one of 10 trips for 2. Just enter the Conoco Coca-Cola Put Yourself There sweepstakes today. You could go to Hawaii, London, England, even a dude ranch. Hurry into Conoco. Registration and great prices on Coke products end soon. For guaranteed gasolines with DuPont XVP 2000.
It's worth knowing the hottest brand going, Conoco.
And welcome back to Channel 31's Backyard. Tim Hall in for Gary Dobbs on this Monday, hoping that Gary's enjoying some nice time off. Weather is cooperating as far as somewhat cooler temperatures than we've had in the past couple of weeks. And as far as rain, there is some out there. Let's look first at 31 Super Radar, the national radar picture, to tell you what's happening, and take a look at the southeastern section of the country. Also along the Gulf Coast region, we have severe thunderstorm watch boxes for much of Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, back into Texas. Tornado watch out there for part of western Kansas and into eastern Colorado. A lot of very, very active weather, and those folks are continuing to get heavy downpours, a whole lot of rain, especially along the Gulf Coast region, and just spotty shower activity in the Tennessee Valley. If we take a look at 31 Doppler Plus, our storm tracker from Huntsville International, we see those showers in Mississippi, just a few in southern Tennessee, and then just between Chattanooga and Knoxville, a little bit of rain as well. Notice all that yellow on the right side of your screen right there. That's lightning from a storm system moving across north Georgia as well. But all in all, for most of the Tennessee Valley, we just can't seem to get the rain that we need to help cool things down and also to help us with the dry conditions that we're having to deal with. Let's take a look at the forecast. This is the way things shape up for your Tuesday. Clouds and showers scattered about. We're looking at better than a 50 to a 60% chance of rain over most of the area, and I would call these anytime showers with a 90-degree high on Tuesday. Southwest winds between 5 and 10 miles an hour. Now, the 5-day shows anytime showers are going to continue through about Thursday, with our rain chances beginning to fall off after Thursday afternoon. Somewhat cooler temperatures. Highs will struggle to reach the upper 80s. One thing there, the cloud cover that we're going to have will help hold our temperatures down. But I'll tell you, folks, it is going to be muggy. Liz and Gus, get ready for muggy conditions over the Tennessee Valley, probably for the next 4 to 5 days. And humidity is going to be a lot higher than we've seen it for some time.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Cooler temperatures, but more humidity, so it's a trade-off for us here in the valley.
Okay. Guess we have to do those trade-offs.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
All right.
I was listening to the radio the other night, listening to NASCAR when I got off of work, and they were all talking about all these, you know, they need a body man, and they need this man, and they need that man, and I was really kind of thinking, boy, they had weird names for all these positions. It really takes a lot putting one of these cars together.
You have nothing but a body shop. You have a bunch of guys who never go to the racetrack and build cars. When we come back, we're going to show you how you build a stock car. It should be interesting. Stick with us.
Well, I finally got my #1 team. But you were #1 from the start. How did you do it? Was it that familiar face or that distinctive outfit? Or just doing things better than anybody else? I don't know what your secret was, but friend, you did it right.
And KFC does it right again with 10 delicious pieces of Kentucky Fried Chicken for only $5.99. That's a lot of chicken at a great price.
It's good to be #1, right?
Your active lifestyle needs a Big Sur waterbed. This 4-piece Mirage bedroom, including waterbed, dresser, mirror, and nightstand, is just $7.99. The Shaker 4-piece bedroom is only $7.99, or this fully mirrored Concord canopy waterbed is just $7.99. That's less than $30 a month for a beautiful bedroom. Big Sur Waterbeds, America's largest, 4830 University Drive Northwest in Huntsville.
I run my seafood department as though it were Marie's seafood department, and everything I sell has my name on it. I do have a few customers, and they say, well, I love seafood, but I only eat it out. And I said, well, why is that? And they said, well, because I really don't know how to cook it. I said, give me 5 minutes. I can teach you how to cook anything in this seafood case. I love seafood, and I love to pass that information on to other people. 5 minutes, guaranteed.
Evening, everybody. Boy, it's hard to believe, but the National Football League season is just around the corner, and as you know, preseason exhibition games have already begun. Two former Alabama players are having trouble with contract negotiations. Defensive end John Copeland, one of the main forces on Alabama's national championship team, was the Cincinnati Bengals' top draft pick, but is still unsigned. Copeland's agent Joel Siegel was expected to begin serious contract negotiations today. Siegel says he would like for Copeland to be signed in time for Saturday's exhibition game against the New York Giants. Now, meanwhile, former Bama running back Bobby Humphrey may be close to an agreement with the Miami Dolphins. Humphrey's agent Heichel Brooks says that the two are trying to work out terms, but are still $500,000 apart. The Dolphins have offered Humphrey $650,000 to play football, but Humphrey's asking for $1.2 million. The Dolphins still want Humphrey despite his offseason problems, which included an arrest on charges of cocaine possession in Georgia and a bullet wound to the thigh when he was shot by a passenger in his car while driving on Interstate 65 near Alabaster. The NASCAR Winston Cup drivers had the weekend off before preparing for this weekend's road course at the 2.4-mile track at Watkins Glen. Well, tonight's NASCAR report brought to you exclusively by our good friends at Williams Service Gasoline. Tonight, we thought we would answer a few questions we receive about NASCAR race cars, like how many factory parts are in a car and just how safe are they? There are only 3 standard factory body parts on a Winston Cup stock car: the hood, the roof, and the trunk lid. The rest is handcrafted through hundreds of hours of hard work. The car is built from the ground up, beginning with a chassis. First to go on the chassis are the suspension pieces and hand-molded body parts. But when the car is completed, it must fit the profile of a U.S. manufactured car and is measured by NASCAR templates.
What NASCAR has incorporated in the new template rules, you know, they're pretty tight on them. I mean, 70 thousandths is the thickness of a quarter, so the cars have got to fit everywhere that they've got a template for.
Safety is always a consideration when building the car, especially in the driver's cockpit. Thick steel bars are strategically placed to protect Rusty in the event of a wreck. While crafting the body is a continuous process, there's the body box, the fuel cell box, oil tank holder, brackets and brake lines to be put in place. Once the body meets the NASCAR template requirements, the chassis pieces are then removed and checked for cracks. The race car is now ready for the paint and body shop. Now, there's still weeks worth of body work remaining before this stock car is ready to hit the tracks. Tonight at 6, the final steps. Davey Allison has become the first posthumous winner of the International Race of Champions Series. Terry Labonte gave Allison that honor by finishing 6th in yesterday's final race at the Michigan Speedway. Here are the standings. The Allison Labonte team picked up $175,000 for first prize money. That money will go toward the children's fund of the Allison family. Al Unser Jr. finished 2nd. Bill Elliott, Ricky Rudd, the Kowicki Earnhardt team finished with $45,000. No word yet on where those monies will go. So that's the first time that 2 posthumous teams have finished in the top 5 in IROC. Very interesting series this year.
It really is. And I enjoyed that, learning a little bit about the bodies.
Well, tonight we'll paint it up, buff it up, and take it for a drive. I won't personally. Rusty's not that dumb, but we'll take her for a drive.
Good deal. Thanks, guys. Well, ever thought you could help your doctor with your diagnosis? A new study suggests it might not be a bad idea. We'll have that story when we come back.
Sandy Draper thinks her garbage bags are great. Can I convince her to try Glad handle-tie garbage bags?
No.
No? Well, we've attached a Glad handle-tie bag filled with last week's garbage to the ceiling fan in your newly decorated bedroom. But relax, Sandy. Only Glad handle ties have handles built right into the bag so they're strong and they tie up tight. Think you'll try Glad handle-tie bags now, Sandy? Well, maybe now isn't a good time. Glad. Only the strong survive.
Done that. Did that. Been there. Tried that. Done it. Did it. Done it. Doing it tomorrow. Whoa! Never did it.
You've never done nothing till you do Diet Do.
Did it, done it, liked it, loved it.
Hi, I'm Dennis James. If you're age 45 to 79, I want to alert you to an important brochure coming your way in your newspaper. It tells you all about the burial expense plan from Physicians Life. Now, this affordable plan guarantees you life insurance, money to help pay your burial and other final expenses. Remember, if you're 45 to 79, you cannot be turned down for this coverage. So look for the Physicians Life brochure in your newspaper.
We're here when you need us, Physicians Mutual.
It's been 10 years since a new drug for epilepsy has hit the market. The Food and Drug Administration gave the go-ahead for a new medication today. The drug Felbutol will be used to treat a rare type of epilepsy that affects young children. The drug will also control seizures in some adults. The FDA says Felbutol will make life a whole lot easier for some patients who suffer from uncontrolled epilepsy. The one-sidedness of medicine appears to be changing. Traditionally, doctors have always been telling patients exactly what to do. Now a new report urges doctors to involve their patients in their health decisions. But doctors say the biggest challenge facing them is educating their patients. Dr. Dina Dell reports.
Maybe these lottery players didn't know that they were about 10 times as likely to die driving to the store to buy a ticket than they were to win the big bucks. $100 million tends to make logic take a back seat.
Contagious fever going on.
But are we just as blind when it comes to taking chances with our health?
Well, a new report says, in a way, we are. Let's face it, a doctor can talk to you until she's blue in the face trying to convince you to eat better, wear your seatbelt, stop smoking, and exercise. And yet, most of us persist. Well, experts say it's time for doctors to learn that most of us don't view the risks of daily life like they do.
A new study in the Journal of the American Medical Association says patients make poor health choices often because we're not very good judges of risk. One example, millions of people, including much of the media, went into a panic when one person blamed his wife's brain cancer on cellular phones during a national talk show. Another problem, we pay lots of attention to risk while virtually ignoring benefits. From vaccines to breast implants, we get scared off by the occasional dramatic side effect, forgetting temporarily the millions who've benefited. And how information is presented can color our response. For example, saying something raises the risk of cancer by 40% sounds pretty serious. But saying the risk goes from 1 in 100 to 1.4 in 100 sounds a little less panicky. Every day we're bombarded with yet another health scare story. Experts say doctors should learn how to present information so patients will put risk in perspective. As for the media, don't hold your breath.
Okay.
I'm Dr. Dina Dell.
All right, now uncross your legs.
Thanks, Dr. Dean. Authorities of this new report say awareness of how people make health decisions is very important. It should be taught in medical school. Well, bring out the cigars. It's finally here, and two prominent television types are today the proud parents of a brand new baby. We'll have that story when we come back.
This is a big car. Put it in park. Hey, how's it going?
It's going great.
Where's my food?
Love this place!
You know, you could have got the croissant for 99 cents.
I didn't want that. I wanted this.
That's a smart move then, so you're having it your way.
99-cent croissant.
Croissant. Can you do that? Yeah, but it's called a croissant. Check in between the seats. You could reach down in there and find enough change to pay for it. You got the croissant? Is that your favorite thing to get?
Yeah.
It's your way right away.
Love this place.
Let's see if these fashion models can tell the difference between our Shoe City and Pick and Pay shoes and the higher price competitors. What do you think?
They feel good. They're really well made. I really like them. Yeah, I love the style.
Which one do you think would be the most expensive shoe?
This one. I think this one is.
That's our $9 shoe. And would you believe you can get any of these shoes from Shoe City and Pick and Pay's new huge fall fashion line? On sale starting at $9.
$9? You're kidding. Wow.
You won't be able to tell the difference either. Take the challenge at Shoe City and Pick and Pay.
I'm a personal fitness trainer and a student. I like dairy products, which are very high in protein, cheese, milk, yogurt, cottage cheese. My favorite purity product is